We are back. This time it is to review a wild one that the Blue Jackets played in Nationwide Arena against the Kings, ending 6-5 in overtime. It was Elvis Merzlikins in the net for the Blue Jackets, Jonathan Quick in net for the Kings. Let's get right into it. The Blue Jackets jumping right out and grabbing momentum thanks to the Chinakhov, Roslovic, and Laine line. I will give Lars credit for this. He has found something with this line. The chemistry they're showing is unbelievable. Jack Roslovic is feeling right now after his a very slow start to the season, a bit disappointing, but as for right now, he's definitely kicked it up a notch and he's found an extra gear in his game that wasn't there previously to start the season. The Jackets would continue the pressure until Kent Johnson got a hold of a turnover. He patiently waited and found Kirill Marchenko with Jonathan Quick out of the net for Kirill Marchenko's first NHL goal. Kent Johnson making sure to grab that puck for him. That's a great moment for this Blue Jackets organization. They've been invested in Kirill Marchenko for years now, and to see him finally get that first NHL goal after he has been putting himself in good positions, but to finally see that first one go in is nice to see for them. The Blue Jackets keeping their foot on the gas as Eric Robinson would draw a slashing penalty. Now the power play, remember that game against the Flames? They had a lot of opportunities, but they did not end up with any goals. This was much different as the power play would score almost immediately. Boone Jenner getting a deflection from a Roslovic shot to go in. That is Boone Jenner's 10th goal, the first Jacket to hit double digits on goals, so obviously leading the team. He's also leading the team in power play goals as well. So Boone Jenner being the first Blue Jacket to hit 10 goals, while it is nice for him, that's kind of a little bit of the boring answer, but hey, Boone Jenner keeps producing. He is, I think he's at a point per game in the last 18 games, so that's phenomenal for him. If he keeps playing like this, then he's definitely going to justify his top line center minutes. However, I'm still just wondering how much those minutes will impact his back as the season goes along. That's something that Brad Larson has alluded to. That's something that's been talked about since the offseason. How long can he continue to log these heavy minutes for the team? Last season, it ended up with him having to miss a good chunk of the back end of the season because of his back injury. We'll see how this progresses throughout the season and how that goes on. But for now, he's earning the minutes. We'll see how we'll see how he manages the workload that he has right now. And after the Kings getting a strong flurry of shots late in the first period, Elvis would hold strong on that, and the first period ends with the Jackets up 2-0, dominating the vast majority of that period. The second period would start, and the Kings come out hoping to make a point. Jody Shelley talking about how he heard yelling from the Kings locker room, so they're definitely fired up and not very happy about how they performed in the first period. They are all over the Blue Jackets. Arvidsson with a breakaway that was stopped by Elvis, and just as it looked like Elvis was going to be a brick wall for the entire game, Anze Kopitar kind of dekes him out of his skates as he's in all alone on Elvis to get the Kings a goal finally, and they cut the Blue Jackets lead in half. It is 2-1. The Kings would keep control after that, and it would be Lizotte scoring a goal that goes in and out of the net, tying it at 2. But less than 2 minutes later, Jack Roslovic and Patrik Laine would get on a 2-on-1 kind of against the grain of play. Roslovic would find Laine, and Laine would score 3-2. That lead would also not last very long as Anderson getting a shot past Elvis that maybe Elvis would want back about 5 minutes later to tie the game back up at 3. And it looked like the Kings might be ready to grab the lead after Andrew Peeke got called for boarding, but instead Jack Roslovic finding Eric Robinson, who found Jack Roslovic again for a short-handed goal. Gavrikov with a nice little clearing outlet pass to break that one out, and the Blue Jackets got the lead back down a man. And that same power play that the Kings were on would be negated by playing with a broken stick call against Kevin Fiala late in the second. I was a little confused by it because he didn't attempt to play the puck with a broken stick. He just still had his broken stick in his hand as he kicked it. And I guess that's technically playing hockey while you're holding a broken stick, but I feel like if you hear the rule playing with a broken stick, it feels like he tried to use a broken stick to play the puck. That's not what happened. It doesn't really feel like it's in the spirit of the rule, but I guess the official said that is what the rule is. I'm not really sure. Fiala was definitely not happy to be called on that. He even didn't really understand what was going on. So far be it from me to question a penalty for the Blue Jackets that they get, but I don't know if that one was actually the right call there. However, on that power play, Jack Roslovic would score after just coming off the bench. Second period ends 5-3 after a wild series of events in which Jack Roslovic comes out looking like a real hero on that one. In the third period, a Walker shot would stun Elvis off of a faceoff. Kopitar the only skater around it, and he would score, cutting the lead to 5-4. And then later on in the period, the puck would find Kempe's stick in a prime scoring area less than 1 minute later, and he would bear it. So in the blink of an eye, it is 5-5 with about 15 minutes left to go in the third. Both of the teams would get plenty of chances between that and the end of the third period, but the game would remain tied at 5 after 60 minutes, so we head to overtime. In overtime, Boone Jenner would win the opening faceoff. He would head to the bench. Laine with a nice toe drag move that Jonathan Quick makes a save on, but Gaudreau, I don't know, he hits it forward, but then it goes off of Fiala's stick and in. 40 seconds into overtime, 6-5. The officials and Toronto took a lengthy look at this, and they ended up reviewing and ruling that the initial call on the ice of a good goal stood. So maybe Fiala touching it with it, because he did definitely touch it up and then back it and chipped it in off of his own stick. So maybe that kind of played into maybe that Gaudreau hitting it didn't matter because Fiala chipped it in. I'm not sure. Either way, the puck ended up back in the net. The ref signaled for a goal. They reviewed it, and they called it a goal. The Jackets walk away with 2 points in overtime, 6-5. Jack Roslovic, the man of the hour, with 2 goals and 2 assists, a 4-point game. Again, he has been coming on pretty strongly and rebounding nicely after a very, very slow and inconsistent start to the season for him. Hopefully his chemistry with Patrik Laine, that seems to definitely be reigniting some spark in his game. Hopefully that continues. And honestly, I don't really mind the lines how they are at this moment. It seems like Brad Larson is kind of just rolling them out all at the same time. I don't really have much complaints about certain lines playing more than other lines. I wasn't concerned about the ice time allotted to anyone at all. I felt like it was pretty fine how it was played. If Jack Roslovic has woken up, then that's great news for the Blue Jackets. I feel like in the ideal lineup of this team, he would be the top line center, but he does have to earn those minutes. And if he keeps doing what he's doing right now, then maybe him and Laine can join Johnny Gaudreau on a top line, and the rest can figure it out. But I also kind of feel like, why mess with stuff that's working if Gaudreau, Jenner, and Nyquist as a top line, and Roslovic, if Roslovic, Chinnikov, and Laine can work on the second line, then it seems to be working, so that's fine. Patrik Laine and Johnny Gaudreau both had 1 goal and 2 assists in this game, so good set nights for them. Elvis has had a pretty up and down game. You can say that there are some goals that he shouldn't have allowed and that he wants back, but his numbers probably don't look the best. But I do think he made some pretty solid plays to keep the puck out of the net at times. And there were some times when maybe felt like the Kings should have gotten a goal, and Elvis kind of stood tall there. So I feel like there was some good and some bad, and it kind of probably evens out in the middle because it was a very chaotic game on both defensive ends for both teams. So that's essentially it for this game. Let me know down in the comments if you have anything to say. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please feel free to leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the video and like to see more like it. I will see you at the next one.